Hello students, let us begin with the Kirchhoff equation. We will begin by writing a general equation A plus B giving M. The number of moles of A will be xm and the number of moles of B will be x2. Number of moles of the product M will be y1. We will write the enthalpy of the reactants as H1. So H1 is x1 HA plus x2 HB. And the enthalpy of the products we will write as H2, which is y1 Hm. The increase in enthalpy delta H is given by the difference of the enthalpy of the product minus the enthalpy of the reactant. So we write equation 8, that is equal to y1 Hm minus x1 Ha minus x2 Hb. Similarly, we write increase in internal energy delta E, which is a difference of E2 minus E1, which is written on similar lines like equation 8, y1 Em minus x1 Ea minus x2 Eb. That will serve as equation 9. Then we go on to partially differentiate equation 8 and 9 with respect to temperature at constant pressure and volume. For enthalpy, it will be constant pressure. For internal energy, it will be constant volume. So del of delta H upon del T at constant pressure is given by y1 del Hm upon del T at constant pressure minus xm del Ha upon del T at constant pressure minus x2 del Hb upon del T at constant pressure. We go to equation 11. The left hand side alone needs a change. Del of delta E upon del T at constant volume is equal to y1 del Em upon del T at constant volume minus x1 del Ea upon del T at constant volume minus x2 del Hb upon del T at constant volume is equation 11. Cp is equal to del H upon del T at constant pressure and Cv is equal to del E upon del T at constant volume. Cp and Cv, as we know, are the heat capacities at constant pressure and constant volume respectively. So we modify equation 10 and 11, we rather reduce them to equation 12 and 13. We will write wherever possible Cp and Cv. So we see that in equation 12 there is a scope of writing CPs. So we'll write the entire equation 12 like this. Del of delta H upon del T at constant pressure is equal to y1 Cpm minus x1 Cpa minus x2 Cpb is equal to delta Cp. I am sure you know that the subscript P is for pressure and the subscript M is for product, subscript A and B are for the reactants. Then we go to equation 12. Del of delta H upon del T at constant volume is equal to y1 Cvm minus x1 Cva minus x2 Cv2 is equal to delta Cv. It is Cvb, okay, not Cv2. Then we go to integrating the equations. We will integrate from limits h1 to h2 on the left hand side, and on the right hand side we will put t1 to t2. So we have equation 14, which shows the difference of enthalpies on the left hand side and the product of change in heat capacity with temperature in equation 14. We go to the next slide. Similarly, we also integrate with respect to the internal energy with limits e1 to e2. So on the left hand side we have integral put for the difference of internal energy, and on the right hand side we have a product of heat capacity and temperature. So equation 15 is change in internal energy, that is delta E2 minus delta E1. On the right hand side we have delta Cv into the difference of temperature T2 minus T1. Then we directly go to equation 16, which is a mathematical formula. You can see that Cp could be expressed as a function of temperature. We have alpha plus alpha or A plus Bt plus Ct square plus Dt cube and so on. The powers keep on increasing, like the first power of temperature is 1, then the second power is 2 and 3. This is because it is an empirical equation. Then we consider a general reaction A and B giving rise to product C and D, and accordingly we label the heat capacities at constant pressure for A, B, C, D, and we write the empirical equation by labeling A as A1, B1, C1, D1 with the temperature paths remaining the same as in empirical equation. Then we write A2, B2, C2, D2 for reactant B. For product C we write A3, B3, C3, D3. For product D we write A4, B4, C4, D4, and of course the empirical equation otherwise remains the same, only the subscript have been changed. Then the delta Cp is written as, it is a difference of product minus reactant. So we write the products first, A3 plus A4 minus A1 minus A2 plus B3 plus B4 minus B1 minus B2 into temperature plus C3 plus C4 minus C1 minus C2 into temperature square plus D3 plus D4 minus D1 minus D2 temperature cube, and so on. So delta Cp will be summarized as alpha plus beta T plus gamma T square plus delta T cube. The brackets of clustering the A's and the B's and the C's and the D's have been given different names. The first bracket was called alpha, the second bracket was called beta, third bracket was called gamma, and the fourth bracket was called delta. And we specify it at the end, what is alpha, beta, gamma, delta. We go to the next slide. Combining equation 12 and 17, you will have to refer back what is equation 12. Equation 12 is here. If you can see equation 12, del of delta H upon del T, which is equal to delta Cp, and equation 17 is here. Delta Cp is also equal to alpha plus beta T plus gamma T square plus delta T cube. We combine the two and we get equation 18, and then we integrate equation 18, and what we get is, we all know integration, so we know that the left hand side is delta H, d of delta H upon integrating from limits h1 to h2 will give us delta h2 minus delta h1, and the right hand side having limits t1 to t2, what will happen is you will get equation 19. I am sure you know how to solve integration, and that is the end of Kirchhoff equation.